Okay, I'm doing research on the seriousness of mental illness for a research paper for my English 1102 class. So I'm pulling up Internet Explorer because I like to do my research first on the web and see if I can find anything on here before I go to the library and try to use one of the reference librarians. Um, Okay, so first I'm going to Google, and I like Google the best. I don't really like any of the other search engines like Bing. I just feel like Google gives me better results. And I'm just going to type in seriousness of mental illness, and I'm going to go to this .gov site because I've been told by multiple professors that these are normally more credible and they're just better for using them as your sources. So I'm just going to skim through this and make sure it's on the topic that I'm actually needing for my research. It has sources in the actual article, which I like because that kind of gives me even more sources to use because I can go off of what the author, used in their research, and that normally helps too because if it's from a credible source, obviously they're going to be citing credible sources, or at least I would hope so. Okay, I'm just going to leave this source open because I haven't really decided if I want to use it or not. So I'm just going to go back to Google. Oh, it's already popped up. And I'm just going to Google the effects of mental illness. Well, here's one on stigma, or it suggested I do stigma, which is what my paper was actually kind of about, was how the stigma affects people and how it's not taken seriously because of the stigma. Here's the same .gov site, but I'm going to try to find a different website so I don't have the same source over and over and over again. Here's one, it's a .org. I like this article, but they have some like facts and statistics here, but they don't cite where they got these. Like they don't cite anywhere on the page or cite inside where they got these statistics, which I got points taken off for doing that, and I don't want to use these facts that they're putting in here and not know exactly where they're coming from, or if they're not accurate, I don't want to use them. I agree with what they're saying. This is pretty much what I have been saying in my essay so far. It kind of hits on the economic issues with the stigma of mental illness, about people not being able to get jobs and getting lower paying jobs, and the media linking it to violence. This is all pretty much what I'm saying. But I don't think I'm going to use this source. I just don't really like how they don't cite what they use, or the facts that they use. They don't cite where they found those, and they don't mention anything about them conducting a study. So I'm gonna search again in Google research about mental health stigma, because normally I can find some research conducted by professors and students and all that kind of stuff. Okay. This top one looks like it's going to be about what I'm looking for. Okay. It is a scholarly article. I don't know if this is the actual... Yeah, this is the actual article down here. So this has everything cited that they use. It has, they did their own research on it. So I like this source. I'm going to also save this one and keep it open. And it was published in 2006, so it's somewhat recent, which I think is important, especially because I'm researching things like problems in our society today. I don't want to use something from like 1992 because things have probably changed since then. So I'm actually not going to go to Google anymore. I'm going to use Galileo because this normally has more credible sources and scholarly articles. So I'm going to go by subject. Actually, I'm just going to search mental illness. So I'm going to check the limit to scholarly and peer-reviewed. And then, okay, public stigma towards mental illness in the Greek culture. I don't really know what that means. as in like Greek, like in Greece, or in like Greek life in college. So I'm gonna make the publication date from I don't know if I can adjust it anymore. Yeah, I think I can. I'm gonna adjust it from 2000 to 2016, just so I can make sure that everything is recent. And then I'm gonna, for the resource type, I'm gonna check academic journals. Okay. So this could kind of help me. It's Medicaid expansion under the Affordable Care Act, potential changes in receipt of mental health treatment among low-income, non-elderly adults with serious mental illness. That could kind of help me with the economic aspect of my paper, but I'm not really limiting it to not to like an age range, so I feel like that wouldn't really make sense in my paper. Okay. I'm just going to see what the one about Greek culture is, just to see. Okay, it's about different countries. I'm kind of looking at it in America, so I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to add in my search mental illness stigma, just so I can get more specific results. Okay. This one says exposing the expert discourse in psychiatry, a critical analysis of an anti-stigma / mental illness awareness campaign. I'm just going to skim through this to make sure it's what I want. Okay, this also covers a bit of the economics and the societal stigma, so it covers what I want. It's credible, it's scholarly and peer-reviewed, so I'm gonna keep this source also. So far I have 3 sources. 2 are research and 1 is just an article. So I'm going to try to find another article just so it's not mostly research papers. So I'm going to bring Google up again. And I'm just going to Google mental health stigma in society. Okay, this one is understanding the impact of stigma on people with mental illness. And this is from the official journal of the World Psychiatric Association.